Yo, what up? What's poppin'? Back at it again with another story time for y'all. Since it's football Sunday, it's NFL football Sunday, and yeah, my Carolina Panthers, they got the victory. My Carolina Panthers, they won another close game, but I mean, the Carolina Panthers, they really do have a lot of work to do because Bryce Young, he kept on getting sacked over and over and over again. But with it being football Sunday, with it being the football season, I got another story time for y'all. The reasons why I quit football. I got another story time for y'all because some of y'all probably thought that I was rapping while I was playing football. Unfortunately, I wasn't. I didn't start rapping until after football, so I got a story time for y'all. Yeah, this is a story time why I stopped playing football. Yeah, so in the year of 2009, I'm a 12-year-old kid. Like, I started playing football like at the age of 12. I go to my first football practice. I'm nervous, but then it's like at the same time, I am kind of excited because I'm thinking that I'm gonna love football. And when I go to my first football practice, it didn't really like go all that well. I mean, I was being lazy when we had to run laps. I was being lazy, pretty much not really hustling like I should, like walking the whole time. I mean, yeah, my when it was my first year, my very first football practice, it was a little sloppy. But later on, getting to like, when we was about to play our first game, that's when I started to get a little bit better. And I mean, there would still be times where I would like walk when we had to like run laps, but I started to get a little bit used to it, and there were plenty of times where I thought about quitting. And yeah, I mean, pretty much when it was my first year playing football, like I started to realize that I don't really like enjoy it the way I thought I would. And in the year of 2009, at the age of 12, like I remember like we ended up losing the last game of the regular season, and then we also lost in the first round of the playoffs. But when we lost in the first round of the playoffs, it was a close game. It was a tight game. We lost 8-0, and it was a close game. I mean, we had like a record of like 3-5 because with us losing the last game of the regular season and also with us losing in the first round of the playoffs, it made our record 3-5. But yeah, and I decided to play football in middle school, seventh grade, and seventh grade was really when I started to get used to it. Seventh grade was really when I started to like really hustle when we had to run the laps. I would like when we would run the laps, I would run the laps and I wouldn't even like walk. I would like jog the whole time. And I ended up making the team when I was in the seventh and eighth grade. So like I played football for my middle school, and that's another yeah, like when I played football in the seventh grade, we actually made it to a championship game and we ended up losing the game. And then we also ended up losing the last game of the regular season, even when I played football in middle school. And when I played football in the eighth grade, we had like a losing season. We were 2-5, and also when I played football my freshman year, JV football, we were 3-7. So I pretty much went through having two losing seasons back to back. But yeah, I mean, I discussed this with y'all before. 10th grade, my sophomore year was like an amazing year for me. Sophomore year playing JV football, that was like a dream come true. I got me a starting position as an offensive guard, offensive tackle. I was one of the captains of the team, and we won the conference championship, and I had one trophy for most improved player. That was a dream come true right there. But that's the thing. This is the reason why I stopped playing football. even though I had a good year when I was a sophomore, even though I had a good year when I was in the 10th grade, even though we won the conference championship and I had one trophy for most improved player, I mean, I still wasn't happy. And that was pretty much my reason why I stopped playing football because I wasn't happy. I mean, instead of me trying to be myself, I was trying to be like my dad. And I just realized, like, actually, I realized after football season was over freshman year that I have to just be myself. It's okay if I don't want to follow my dad's footsteps. And yeah, I mean, yeah, like, I realized that I have to just be myself. Like, football was something that I had an interest in, but it was something that I didn't have a passion for. So, yeah, I mean, 10th grade, it was a good year for me. It was a good season. And then it's like 11th grade because after football season was over in the 10th grade JV football, I remember one of the coaches were asking me, was I going to play football next year at the varsity level, and I was like, probably, because they kept telling me that I need to play. And I ended up playing football at the varsity level, but just for 1 year, my junior year, and ended up going back to the way it was when I was a freshman playing JV football. Not, but I mean, I had me like a position on the special teams because pretty much when I played football my sophomore year, I played just about everything on offense. I played offensive guard, offensive tackle. I was on special teams. I played just about everything on offense, but yeah, like when it came down to the varsity level, because I always knew that playing well, really, it don't make a difference what sport it is you play, whether you play football, whether you play basketball, whether you play baseball, whether you play soccer. When it comes down to like playing a sport at the varsity level, it's not the same as playing it at the JV level. And I always knew that. And I mean, after football season was over, my junior year, that's when I made my official decision that I'm done with football. I don't want to do this no more. And when I made my decision that I didn't want to play football no more, did I know exactly what I really wanted to do? No, I didn't. I thought about becoming a martial arts instructor, and like becoming a rapper was just gonna be like a backup plan. I mean, there would be times where I would be sitting at the lunch table by myself and I would take out my notebook and I would just write basic raps. But once I started to freestyle rap, that's when I realized, and I did a story time about this before, what got me started in music. Like I told y'all, once I started to freestyle rap off the top of my head, that's when rap became a goal of mine. But yeah, that's pretty much why I stopped playing football, because I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. You know what I mean? It's like I was trying to be my dad and not really trying to be myself. My dad, God rest his soul, R.I.P. Like, and that's another thing too. It really taught me a lesson. When you try to be like somebody else and you don't really try to be yourself, it can put you in a miserable situation. And I was in a miserable situation and I got out of it. So, but yeah, that's a story time of mine. And that's another thing too. Like, when it comes down to sports now these days, it seems like all they really like care about is winning. This is the reason why you got coaches that can get fired for no reason, because they don't want to hear you talk about you win some, you lose some. They don't want to hear you talking about you can't win them all. You know what I mean? I mean, like, I'm still young and I'm still in my prime. Like, my main focus is music and YouTube, but if I was like to get an opportunity to maybe play semi-pro football, I could maybe play semi-pro football just to like redeem myself. But other than that, right now, I'm happy. I don't miss playing well, what I mean is that I'm happy doing music and I'm happy making YouTube videos. I don't miss playing football, not one bit. I don't miss it at all. But it was a pleasure though. It was a pleasure to do something that I was interested in. I hung in there for 6 years. I played football for 6 years. I mean, if I had a passion for football and if I would have took it seriously, I probably, would have got the opportunity to play college football for East Carolina University, but yeah, football wasn't a passion of mine. But yeah, that's another story time that I have for y'all. Reason why I stopped playing football. But yeah, like if you were athlete and like well, if you're like a former athlete and you a YouTuber now, you do something else, like feel free to engage with me. If you feel comfortable engaging with me, giving out your reason why you stopped playing sports. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on my channel, comment, share, like the video. And again, my new song, Blow Up Freestyle, it's on my YouTube channel and it's also on my SoundCloud. You can follow me on SoundCloud at Wally G. Let's run it up. Let's blow it up. Love y'all.